Hello and welcome back to No Bullshit. Today we return to talking about the upcoming high-budget blockbuster movie, Captain Marvel. Starring Brie Larson, this is the first female-led comic book movie. Wait, no, actually, the first female-led superhero film was Supergirl from 1984. It was terrible too, by the way, which is probably why no one repeated this for a very long time. Okay, wait, maybe that's it. It's been a really long time since there's been a girl hero movie then. Well, no, not really, since Wonder Woman just came out less than 2 years ago. And it was really well done too. A successful picture, which is probably why Marvel is making Captain Marvel so hyped now. Oh yeah, that's it. This is the first Marvel Comics movie with a girl lead. Oh no, wait, again, what about Elektra from 2005? That was another terrible led female comic book movie too, based on a Marvel character as well. But I guess they want us to forget about all that in the marketing and stuff. So I think you get my point. As much as the marketing department and the SJWs would have you believe, Captain Marvel really isn't the first of anything. It's the first Marvel Cinematic Universe movie with a girl, sure, but that's not really saying too much. Really, what I see happening here is this. The Captain Marvel movie is going full SJW. They are already developing a cult-like feminist-led following online, and the actors and producers are going right along with it too, hoping the political buzz will increase their sales and bottom lines. Really, I have a feeling this could be a disaster though. It's certainly becoming a media disaster already. I can't even count the number of social justice warrior-related controversies this Captain Marvel movie has already gotten into. And since it's all very reminiscent of it, I think it's safe to say that Captain Marvel is going full Lady Ghostbusters from 2016. And this was a mistake Warner Brothers made last year too, when they tried to get an all-feminist girl power thing going with Ocean's 8, an all-girl version of Ocean's 11, the heist movies. And while Ocean's 8 was moderately successful financially, it was still not very well reviewed or well liked by the fans. Both Ocean's 8 and Ghostbusters 2016 made these same mistakes, and now it really looks like Captain Marvel is about to repeat them, but hoping for better results, I guess. At this point, the best we can hope for is a Black Panther type situation. This was the political Marvel movie last year, which of course was a huge financial success, sure, but the movie was a bit generic all things considered. I would even say the overhyping of Black Panther eventually did the movie a disservice in the long run. The more I heard about how great it was, supposedly, the more I thought, hey, wait, Black Panther isn't really that good. It's basically like a black Iron Man who's based in Africa. Black Panther even fights an evil version of himself, just like how Iron Man did in his first movie over a decade ago. Regardless, I did still like the Black Panther movie. I certainly didn't hate it by any means, but I'm also not going to pretend it was the greatest movie of all time either. It wasn't even the greatest Marvel movie, not by a long shot. So yeah, Captain Marvel is clearly this year's version of Black Panther. It's a new minority character that's certainly making things more political than they should be. For example, Brie Larson herself even said this was a form of activism for her in a recent interview with InStyle.com. Here's a clip from that story so you can see what I'm talking about. Part of the reason Larson took on the role of Marvel's ultimate feminist icon, Captain Marvel, is due to the character's own sense of humanity. She didn't apologize for herself, Larson explains. I felt like that was a really valuable trait because she is incredibly flawed and makes a lot of mistakes and has to ask to atone for them, and that is super valuable. She's not ever shrinking herself down. It also linked back to her mission of filmmaking with a purpose. The movie was the biggest and best opportunity I could have asked for, Larson says. It was like my superpower. This could be my form of activism, doing a film that can play all over the world and be in more places than I can be physically. Jesus Christ, lady, calm the hell down. You're making a movie for children, something kids watch while stuffing popcorn in their faces and drinking Coca-Cola. This certainly isn't high art or anything like that, and this also isn't some kind of activism that's going to save the world or some shit either. Get off your high horse, Brie. You're getting a diversity hire Marvel movie made for you because you happened to win an Oscar a few years back, right before this movie started casting. It was all a bit of dumb luck, if you ask me. That was barely even supported by Brie Larson's just above average acting skills. And before we go on about Brie, who gets even worse, believe it or not, but first, let's talk about this supposed feminist icon that Captain Marvel's supposed to be. Well, that's not really all it's cracked up to be either. Captain Marvel is a B or C level superhero in the Marvel universe, in the comics, and she's someone that most people have never heard of before this movie came out. And as for being a feminist icon, please. As hard as the SJW writers at Marvel try to make her one, Captain Marvel has been one of the biggest failures at Marvel Comics for years now. That's why they've had to reboot that series a dozen times, because no one likes that feminist SJW horseshit. Put all this together and I got a real bad feeling about this upcoming movie, especially if it keeps getting our hopes up so high. Next, let's talk about the unnecessary division created by the new trailer for Captain Marvel that played during the Super Bowl last weekend. I knew it was another sign that this was going full SJW when they started the trailer off by saying, "About to show these boys how we do it," showing Brie Larson and her black girl co-pilot here. Then shortly after they say higher, further, faster, making a direct comparison between the girls and the men. Captain Marvel even stands up in this shot right here, trying to seemingly place her above all the men, who are probably all sexist pigs of course. Please. This is some forced I'm better than you shit that's so childish and unnecessary. Why do these girl movies have to be all about girl power while also attacking men while they do it? It's so strange and it sounds weak actually, like Captain Marvel is overcompensating or something. I'm not doubting her own character's powers in the story. She seems like she's almost as overpowered as Superman, but at the same time, Supes never turned against women to attain his own masculinity and a badass appearance. In fact, Superman loved the ladies, always making the reporter Lois Lane one of his top priorities, if you know what I mean. With that said, I really don't see this Captain Marvel character having any sort of male love interest for her at all yet. If she does, it's definitely not something they've shown in the trailers. And it's something that's surely needed in these movies sometimes. It helps display the character's humanity, which is certainly necessary when you have an alien character like Superman or Captain Marvel. Next, let's talk about some of the early reactions to Captain Marvel the movie that's going around out there on the web. Some early screenings have already happened and the first impressions from people have been quite interesting. Here's an article about it called Captain Marvel First Screening Reactions Claim Goose the Cat Steals the Show. Wow, that's really not a good look to me. I mean, I love cats and dogs and animals as much as the next guy, but if the cat in a movie is stealing the show, then it sounds to me like the rest of the movie is pretty shitty. Why isn't Captain Marvel stealing the show? She's the lead. Or what about the great supporting characters like Nick Fury and Phil Coulson? This cat being the best part of the movie really sounds like a lot of crazy feminist cat ladies are the ones who are getting into this, and that really worries me. But let's go ahead and read a bit of this article and see what else is up. Captain Marvel has screened and Goose the Cat reportedly steals the show. We're now less than 2 months away from Brie Larson making her Marvel Cinematic Universe debut as Carol Danvers on the big screen, and some lucky fans have already gotten a chance to see the movie. Goose has already played a pretty large part in the promotional campaign through getting his own character poster along with a few different action figures that come with some of the bigger characters like Danvers and Nick Fury. It's not clear why Goose the Cat is such a main part of Captain Marvel, but the comics point to a very different type of feline. First of all, in the comics, Goose's name is really Chewie, which Disney probably changed to separate the movie from the Star Wars franchise. Secondly, Goose and Chewie is from an alien species whose body contains interdimensional porters known as flurkins. However, that's not all. Flurkins are fierce creatures who can turn into monsters in seconds. Okay, that does sound a little cool at the end there. I don't know about the term flurkins though. Sounds like a word a kid would make up or something. Or it sounds like those random made up words that are sung sometimes in Mary Poppins movies, where they make weird phrases like flippity floppity floop, something like that. Regardless, I don't know if Marvel is really thinking about the optics here again. As I said before, the supposed first female movie for them, and it's being pushed as feminist, and having a cat as a main character, and that's not the best look. Calling feminist cat ladies is a pretty common meme, because it's usually true. So to me it almost seems like they're pandering to the feminists. Like they're saying, hey, this is a feminist movie and we even got a cat in here for you, because that's usually the feminist's best friend anyway, because really, no humans can stand them. This also reminds me of an Air Bud-like movie, or Turner and Hooch with Tom Hanks. Something like that. This cat co-star makes me think that Marvel is regressing back to the late 80s and early 90s, when animal co-stars were pretty big in Hollywood. A little retro, but hey, this Captain Marvel movie is set in the 90s after all. Maybe that is why. I'm also getting a Top Gun vibe from this too, with all the fighter pilot stuff first, and of course, the cat is also named Goose after all, and that's the name of one of the pilots from Top Gun. So I guess this whole thing is coming full circle. So let's recap. We got girl power stuff, we got the feminism, and we got hating on males while they do it. I think all Captain Marvel really needs to go full Lady Ghostbusters now is to start attacking the haters and detractors from the movie. As we've seen before, the people who didn't like Ghostbusters 2016 were all called sexist. That way the SJWs could pretend it wasn't the movie's fault for sucking. Next, it was last year when the people who didn't like Black Panther were called racist bigots, who supposedly didn't like the movie because it's black. This of course was untrue as well. There are plenty of reasons to criticize Black Panther as I went over, and of course Lady Ghostbusters was completely terrible, but now, with Captain Marvel coming out in about 4 weeks, I too predict that the detractors will be labeled as sexist woman haters. In fact, some of the louder voices have already been getting attacked by the SJW pro-Captain Marvel lynch mobs. I follow Ethan Van Sciver on Twitter, who has been highly critical of Captain Marvel to say the least, and he's already been accused of pushing hate speech on there, just because he doesn't like the character and the movie's direction. He's also got a whole video about it and other Captain Marvel commentaries on his YouTube channel too, if you want to check them out, link below. The gist of it all is this: calling out Captain Marvel on Twitter and YouTube is already getting people lots of heat from the SJWs, and the leftists and feminists who are supporting it. And I predict this is only going to get much worse when the movie actually comes out. In the end, there was really no reason to make this Captain Marvel movie at all. It's not a beloved character and no one was really excited about it initially. That's why the marketing department at Marvel decided they needed to go the feminist route like Ghostbusters 2016. It's their only chance of possibly salvaging this thing insane and selling some tickets. But really, I think I would have been more likely to give it a fair chance if they didn't do it with all this SJW bullshit at all. They could have had Captain Marvel be like how Wonder Woman was in 2017. That movie had a girl lead, but it didn't feel the need to go feminist or hate on men at all. But clearly Captain Marvel didn't go that route, so I guess we'll have to wait and see how it works out for them in the end. What do you guys think? Has Captain Marvel gone full Ghostbusters 2016? What do you think about the actress Brie Larson making this political? And did you enjoy that Super Bowl trailer for the movie? And why do you think they keep bashing men all the time? Comment your thoughts on everything below, and thanks for watching No Bullshit. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, and we'll see y'all next time.